33/35, 4 pickup.
Black Waters of Echoes Pond, AKA Pandemonium, AKA Echoes Pond. There's quite a few names of this movie before we even got to this one. It's been maybe 4 or 5 years when we first got it. And I had it for a while, then we lost it and got it back. It's taken about 4 years to get the financing for the film. You know, a lot of people think it happens overnight with films financing and stuff, but you know, sometimes it takes years and years. You just got to keep on going after it.
The story of this movie revolves around a game. The game ends up revealing your innermost insecurities. Whether or not they're completely true is another story. And the whole idea of best friends coming together for the weekend and to sort of watch as their relationships slowly, you know, peel apart in the midst of this fabulous horror story, I could miss the opportunity to see Robert cut in half.
I think his real body is going to be hidden in here, and then the fake, and then the guts in the middle.
I love it. I love it.
Jesus Christ, are you out of your fucking mind? We're about to film the scene where Trent and I are in the basement. He ties me up to the workbench, and he pretty much torments me to death. First, what does he do? First, he slams a screwdriver in my arm. Second, what does he do? Oh, he takes pliers and he sticks them in my mouth, and then takes about 2 teeth out. As you can see, I have some teeth missing already, so it's a pretty bad day. 3, chainsaw. As you can see, you know, this is what it would probably look like if I got in a fight with my wife. And this corny thing, I have to keep it, you know, I got to keep it cool so it doesn't get hot until I start sweating and all this stuff falls off my face. So, you know how it goes, but I'm excited to shoot it. The rehearsal went well, I think, and it's time to just dive in it. This is actually my first work day, so I get to die the first day and then go back and do the other stuff. So.
I remember we were shooting the scene where I have to come down and discover it. And I just was supposed to see the body and I have a line and I leave. But I couldn't do that. Because by the time I came down and they said, you and Jimmy have a moment, look at the body, and look down at the body and look at the 3-foot-high pile of entrails and and then get out of the scene, and for them, that's great, that's perfect. I'm like, that was real, that was nasty.
It's an ensemble piece, you know, and you hardly get to work. I mean, usually you get on a set and you're doing your individual thing, but everybody's really supportive of each other, and it's just a ball of fun, you know.
Between myself and the director and the other producer, Jason, we've created a fun atmosphere, and it's really laid back. Everybody's having a lot of fun. That was our director screaming quiet, so.
Some serious shit goes down here. As you can see, somebody has a tad bit of an accident through the staircase, and
there's a stuntman who, from a far angle, looks exactly like me, which is frightening. He is falling through the stairs, which is kind of interesting. As in real life, I'd break my neck, but this guy is doing a second take right now. It's a 20-minute reset. It takes a lot of energy and it takes a while.
Please. Yeah, common mark. And action. Cut.
Cut.
Okay, roll, please.
Wow. What's in this room? Keep going. Go back to one, go back to one. Your eyes have to follow the flashlight where it goes. Put your hand on the thing. Say, I'm all right.
I'm all right.
Say it again, looking at the thing. I'm all right.
I'm all right.
Marker.
Okay, go back to 1 again.
All you have to do to get prepared for this role is just drive on the 405. That's all I did, you know. So I'm picturing behind these eyes, because I like can barely see. You know how those motorbikes and they drive on the side of you, and so when you almost kill about 3 or 4 of them, you know, I've been there and so forth. Or once that old lady cuts you off and do like this, give you that bird. That's where the rage comes from, people. So a lot of people may think that, you know, hey, he can actually kill a guy. I can if I'm driving on the 405.
Chuck it, come at him. Come at him.
These contact lenses feel like I'm looking like this through binoculars. I'm sticky as hell, and I can't drive home like this because if I do, they're gonna skip the trial and send me right to the chair. I think they would keep my ass in there for an extra hour. So it just, you know, black man blood on them. It's already, I mean, hey, what more do you need, you know?
Oh yeah, the contacts that you can see tunnel vision. So you it's the night, it's dark, and we're running behind this girl, and all we see is like tunnel vision. So we're like, we feel like creatures, you know, we're like, we're like really into the character. It was great.
I think that was the hardest thing.
It was the hardest thing, I think.
With the makeup.
Oh, the makeup. That was
the blood,
really
dried blood on your skin,
yeah,
the fake blood.
Your hair sticks when you're running. And
and your neck and coming out of your ears. Yeah.
And of course it's painful and it's fucking annoying and it's bawling your eyes out. But so you look in the mirror and you realize that if the whole picture looks as good as these eyes in you, it's gonna be a good movie.
Is he gonna watch this? He's gonna see this.
Yeah.
Declan is an interesting dude. He is by far the most dedicated actor on this set because he has one line in one scene.
Why did you lie, Rick?
And has been here every day. He's been here more than I have. Been here every day.
I mean, I really had a lot of preparation for this role. An acting coach by the name of Harold Guskin, I read his book, and he talked about how the lines as an actor, when you take them in, when you breathe and bring them in, the character just comes out of you.
Why did you lie, Rick?
Okay, don't go overboard with the crying.
Why did you lie?
The role, he speaks to you, and I meditated a lot. I did a lot of meditation to find him, to bring him out, and I used everything that I could to get to that.
Why?
What would it be like to be somebody, to be Danny? You know, until Danny just became me, you know, and it was innate.
Oh,
yes,
Danny.
Yes.
Danny, let me tell you, he is such a dedicated actor.
Like right now, I think I see Declan over there, I think I see Declan over here, I think I see Declan over there. Because every time you turn, he's standing right behind you. That's why I'm talking really quietly, because you don't know. You know, he'll show up with the drop of a hat like that, you know.
A beat right after he goes, you almost gave me a heart attack. Anton, sweetie, you okay? Like, you know, like
Freaking out,
you
just
guys are
ran
panicked,
from
you heard a crash, you know.
Okay. Anton, sweetie, you okay?
I read the script about 8 months ago when I got it from Gabe Bologna, the director, and Jason Lockridge. And when I read it, you know, it just spoke to me that this is what I'm gonna play. Though I don't have much dialogue, there's just so much emotion, so much backstory, to be able to go into that. And it was life-changing for me. Yeah, here you go. Throw it up. Thanks, bro. It's great.
For me as a writer, I mean, I appreciate how enthusiastic Declan is. I mean, he's constantly telling me what a genius I am, which is a little uncomfortable.
I mean, Sean Clark is, what a writer.
I mean, for a lot of people on the set, it's been very overwhelming, and most of them don't understand him. that I kind of do. I made a point. Have made a point to take
Yeah.
the time to understand him.
We spend the time
and his choices as a human being, as a person.
We got to know him, and that's how we understood.
The choices, the reason why he's so passionate, and it's very understandable.
It's very powerful. The reason why he is the way he is.
What helped me big time was I fasted.
Rumor has it he didn't eat for 48 hours prior to his death scene, where he's already dead, so playing a corpse. But apparently, most corpses haven't eaten for 48 hours.
Well, he's intense. he's definitely intense. Yeah. That's great for him. Wonderful. He embraced it. You know, that's awesome.
I heard it once said, if I'm not mistaken, preparation is allowing.
I saw him during dinner sitting in a chair like this, off by himself with his back to everybody, and I saw him kept falling out of the chair and getting up. I mean, it was like he was so weak he could hardly sit in a chair.
Action! God damn it!
I wanted to beat my body down, so I didn't have any food in my body. I wanted to be as weak as possible, so my spirit and my emotions would just connect, and I could break down and cry like that. I lied in the weeds probably 4 times and just felt my body, what would it be like.
He did some research, and apparently you vomit when you die, when you're dying.
I always do that. I want to meditate and just quiet the mind, breathe, shut my eyes, and my instincts, just trusting instinct. And my instincts were I need vomit.
So he made his own vomit, helping out the art department a little bit, which I'm sure they appreciated.
The script didn't have anything to do with him vomiting, but he showed up on set with this bottle of yellow crap.
When I walked on the set, Gabe, he's always detailed oriented, he goes, "What is that?" And Jimmy Duvall goes, "It's puke."
And Gabe, of course, who's under the gun for time, is like, vomit? Who cares about vomit? Who cares? No, you don't do it. I don't want to see it.
Go back, don't do it, go back.
I had heard that Gabe was insisting on him not using it, but then I also heard that Declan was pushing so hard because he was so, he's proud of his vomit.
And Massimo was fixing something on the set. And he comes back to me and he says, "Madonna, porca Giuda." And I said, what's wrong, man? He says, "This fucking guy, every take, he asks me when he can vomit. Can I vomit this take? Can I vomit this take? Can I vomit this take?"
When the scene came, when they had the reversal shots of me, he's like, "Declan, Danny." I kept saying, "Call me Danny. Get that puke." And I you know, and it naturally just came right out. You know, half mask, you know, my eyes half closed and I'm breathing and
he got to vomit. He did the vomit, and he sold that vomit like I've never seen vomit get sold. Projectile all over Jimmy Duvall's arm. It was fantastic.
He is passionate about it. I mean, if that character had gotten cut for any reason, I think he'd be swinging from a rope from one of these trees right now. That's how dedicated that guy was.
So I got nothing but nothing but respect and admiration for good old Declan, or Danny, as he likes to be called on set. Danny. Don't call him Declan.
He was even yelling at people that would call him by his real name. He was insisting on being called Danny all night.
Still Danny right now, till the shoot's done. Even though Danny's dead. Danny was always dead. He's Danny.
I love it. I don't want to leave it. You know, I don't care when I get home at 7 a.m., 6 a.m. What's more important than this?
How does that make you feel when she does that?
For me, it's been a dream come true. I mean, this is my first feature film, and most first feature films for guys like me are shot in their garage with their friends. And to be able to have people like Danielle Harris and Robert Patrick, James Duvall, Elise and Electra, Walker, MD, Mercedes, you know, who am I forgetting? Nick. I mean, it's amazing, you know.
Do you want me to bring in that laptop?
You know, it works though. I think it works. It works though. This is Robert's father and his brother. And you don't see the resemblance?
See?
What the fuck is that? Robert, why do you have this in your office? I don't know. We've got just such a great cast. I'm blessed, you know. I mean, it's. I keep pinching myself when I see these great actors saying my words. You know what I mean?
The only problem I had was to stop looking at all the characters as Sean Clark.
Man, are you okay? Anton! Here! Oh, shit. Here. I fucking gave you a heart attack.
Anton, are you okay, sweetie?
I'm fine.
Found a flashlight.
Watch your step. He fell through. You okay, dude?
Someone must have sealed this opening.
So you should probably follow him down.
Follow him down the steps.
Follow him down the steps. That way, I kind of like how you look to him, kind of like you're saying to him. Or I don't know, or maybe you could stay on the stairs and you're kind of looking in at him and you look up at him and say that. Right.
We've got a really cool cast here, and actually Sean Clark, the writer, knew a lot of the cast, and you know, sort of his expertise more than mine. He handles a lot of the cast and what he does as far as being a horror expert. So he helped out a lot.
Sean Clark actually called me and said, I've got a movie for you. Do you want to do it? And at that point I was like, I don't know. And then I read the script and I thought, you know, wow, this is, you know, a great, like seeing my brother, you know, in a car accident and getting to make out with Mercedes. I've never done any girl-on-girl stuff, so that was fun.
Veronique, she's definitely sort of the TNA of this movie. And so my personal insecurities were challenging for me to make sure, you know, because I'm that girl and I want to, you know, she's perceived that way and you know, oh, do I, you know, am I going to be able to do that? And physically, do I look like that? And so all my own issues, but I conquered them. Yay!
All right, I'll just come out and say it. Josh and Caleb. Oh, wait, let me explain. Caleb because he's the sensitive, romantic type, and Josh because he's the big and strong, take charge kind of guy. And I always thought if I could have a combination of the two, I'd have the perfect man. We laugh and have fun, and it's fun. The girls are new, you know, so getting to kind of see them learn about how all this works as well is really fun. And everyone's great. There's no divas here, which is great. You get a bunch of people your own age in a room, and you're like, I wonder how this is going to work. You have, you know, 4 girls on set, so you never quite know what the outcome is going to be. But everyone's awesome.
Oh, my co-stars, fucking assholes. God, slave drivers. My co-stars have been great. To be honest, I was really, really excited when I found out that the Grindhouse twins, both Electra and Elise, were doing this. That was really exciting.
They make sure the entire cast was hot and the entire crew. So everybody's good looking.
So it's kind of nice to come to work and be like, I'm depressed, but I'm going to
I
work
like the
to see pretty
DP
people.
and everybody here is hot, so it's really nice.
Then, you know, when I was told about the rest of the cast, like, you know, Nick Manell and MD Walton and Walker Howard, and I am familiar with all of their work. So for me, the idea to come up and work with, you know, they're a little bit younger than me, you know, though we look the same age. So the idea and the prospect of coming to work with young actors with that kind of caliber really, really excited me. I was really motivated to come in and see if, can I still stand side by side with these guys? They're really good.
Jesus fucking Christ, man! What the hell are you doing?
Look, we can do this motherfucker the hard way. We can make it easy. You make the choice, all right? You make the choice. I want some fucking answer, all right?
Relax.
You can't see me?
I know.
That's enough. You're not playing that game anymore. It's enough.
That was way better than Drugstore Cowboy. Shit.
The big challenges we faced on this film has been location. As far as the production is concerned, has been like, you know, behind the scenes, has been like locations changing, script changes that were totally welcome. It just made the film a lot better. But as you're in production, when you get changes like that, I mean, you're faced with schedule changes that change just about everything behind the scenes, and it's hard, but it's fun. You know, it's what the challenge is of always making the script better because of what you shot so far, because it's a constant learning process.
We've got a lot of cast members and we've got a lot of stuff to cover in a very short amount of time, so not really being given the opportunity to do more than one take sometimes, or trying to get everyone's coverage. Like right now we're packing up the house to move outside, but we were supposed to do a scene inside the kitchen right now, and we don't have time to do it because we have to close the set, so we need to go now move it outside. So we're like, oh God, I'm gonna be sitting outside freezing my butt off in my dress for the next 5 hours.
If you're up to the challenge and you know you're up against something like that and you actually are real with it, it turns out better.
Jackass, you're doomed! Doomed, I tell you.
You ready, Brenda? Here we go. And action! All right.
I think people will be surprised that it's not just your regular like slasher, blood and guts type of movie. We got plenty of that, but it's a real smart film that really establishes relationships between a group of friends, and I think we kind of take it to a different level than the usual commercial horror film. I mean, I think this is I think people will be pleasantly surprised by what we do.
I think they can expect to be scared, surprised, shocked, and maybe laugh a little bit. All around goodness, I think.
You know, it's a lower budget, so everybody it's fly by the seat of your pants. So everybody's having to step up and deliver, and it's hectic, but it's in that same vein. It's wonderfully challenging. You know, great experience.
I'm hoping that it comes out great, and trust it that in editing it will be taken care of, and that they've got a vision, and that they'll cut it together really great. But the relationships are there between all the characters, and that's really the only part that I can control, is what I do in scenes with my fellow co-stars, and the rest is sort of up to them.
It's just one of those films that, you know, in the back of your mind, you're really excited about, and just excited about 6 months from now when there's a cut done of what it's going to be like, and hopefully it's everything you've imagined and a lot more.
Buckle up. Buckle up. It's quite a ride, man.
The co-stars have been great, actually. Oh, my